All right, so if you've been feeling that weight on you in your everyday life where things just don't seem as seamless as they once were, they don't seem to be flowing, and everything is just so hard, and it's like you got to drag yourself to do all the things you once did with ease. That is usually one of the first indications that your season is approaching. So, this level will require uncomfortable obedience. Okay, so that is what it's going to take for you to get to the point of moving into your season, so that you don't divert and miss it. Because what you don't want to do is end up on this road and your season is coming this way. You know, things get so hard, you start diverting, trying to get things done, and you end up missing it. You don't want that to happen, because if you've been waiting a very long time for something to happen, usually you've probably missed a season at one point in time. And yes, God does not delay. You know, what's for you is for you. But there are things that we can do to hinder our progress and our elevation. Like what should have been your time, God looked in and said, okay, you're not ready. I'll hold this back until you get it together, and he'll have another go at it. Try to help you work those things out that kept you from getting into your promised land the first time. You know, he will continually do things to test your heart and to encourage you and to help you grow. Okay, so that's the first one. So for that, continue to push forward. Don't divert. You got to go through that. You got to drag. If you got to pull yourself to pray and to continue to stay in the word and to continue on growing in your purpose, whatever God is having you do within that, keep going. Okay, keep going, because eventually that load, that weight that's on you, that's going to eventually lift, and you're going to find yourself having more grace, more strength to actually get those things done. Okay, because this is like your birthing season. You know how hard that is for us women who have gone through childbirth. You know the force and the pressure that is required to get that thing, bring that thing into this life, okay, to pull that thing into existence. So you got to keep pushing, you got to stay steady, and you got to bear down on that thing, okay? Bear down in your purpose, in your business, in your building, in your praying, in your staying in the word. You got to bear down, you got to hold on to that thing, and don't divert, okay? Because this too shall pass. Now, secondly, all hell is breaking loose. And do you know how hard it is to push through something or have all these weights on you? And it's like you got weights and stuff on you, and you're walking up this hill, and as you walk, more and more things keep piling up on you. Well, that is how it can feel if you're already under pressure. Things are already difficult, and here we are with all hell breaking loose. That is another indication that your purpose is, you're right at that wall of purpose. If you break through this, your thing is on the other side of it. So these are the tactics that come that try and discourage you from moving forward, because the enemy knows what's on the other side of that wall. See, he can see you standing in front of it, and even though you can't see the wall, he can see it. And he's like, man, you know, they're right at the beginning of this wall, they're right on the other side of their thing, I got to do something. So God will allow you to be tested, because this next level is going to require you to go higher, to be extended and expand within your limitations. God wants to break those chains of limitations, and all the things that you've been able to sustain within this level, God is like, no, those things have to come off. So this is his way of shaking you and shaking those things off, so that you can be prepared for the things you've asked for and the things that he's bringing you into. So the third one is self-doubt, okay? And of course, we all have those limiting beliefs sometimes, where it's like, man, am I going to be able to do this? Or can I get this done? You know, because like when God called me for my purpose years ago, I'm looking at him like, are you sure I'm the one for the job? I was like Moses when he asked him to bring the people out of Egypt. Like, are you sure I'm the person for this job? You sure you want me to do this? So that is the point where that self-doubt will come in and try to convince you that, you know what, it's not gonna work. Like if you've already started something, nobody's showing up or nothing seems to be working, you're starting to contemplate doing something different. Like maybe this wasn't it, I'm gonna just tear this down and do something else. Or if you've been following God's instruction in your assignment and you're like, it's just not working, maybe God didn't say that at all, or maybe it was just me, maybe I'll just do something else. Don't divert, don't move, don't be moved. You have to stand in that position, because after you've suffered a little while, and that suffering could be in your waiting where it seems like nobody's showing up. After you've suffered a little while, God will bring that thing to pass, because it proves to him that you have been obedient and that you will not be moved along the way. See, he doesn't want someone that he's going to get way down the line and then you decide to cave under the pressure. And it's like everything that you guys have built together, you and God, comes falling down. He doesn't want that. He needs you to be strong and steadfast and obedient. So he will allow things not to happen. He'll hold that thing back just to see how long you're gonna stand and see if you're gonna refuse to grow weary and faint. Okay, so that is where you are with that self-doubt, whether it be towards your business, your assignment, yourself even. It could be where you are. You could be saying, you know, I'm just gonna wait until a different time to actually do this. Things are not going right around me, or there's people living with me that keep me from doing what I have to do. I'm just going to wait until I get somewhere else to do this. Don't do it. Do whatever you can where you can. If you got to go sit in the park and get your work done, get it done. If you got to wake up in the wee hours of the morning when everybody's asleep to get it done, get it done. God wants to know that he can trust you. And obviously he's called you. So he knows that you're the person for the job. And as I was talking about with Moses, God knew that he was the person for the job. It doesn't matter how many times he rejected it. Even in the end, he went and said to God, you know, we'll send someone else. Like he wasn't going to do it. He's like, I am not for it. I am not going out here and I'm not embarrassing myself in front of these people. I'm not the person for the job. Eventually, he answered that call. Okay? So it doesn't matter the pressure that you're under, the hell that's breaking loose, let it break. Okay? And the limiting beliefs and the self-doubt, and it feels like your faith is wavering. It doesn't matter what you're feeling right now. All of those things that are coming against you, all the opposition that's coming against you, keep standing, okay? Because God has you. He has you, and he wants you to know that if you just hold on, keep pushing, keep believing, keep standing, keep growing. Right on the other side of this wall is your thing. Don't forfeit your promised land. Don't forfeit the inheritance that God promised our forefathers to give you. Your forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God promised that you will inherit that land. He said the heirs, you are an heir to all those things, to the promised land. The wealth and all of the things that they acquired belong to you. And how we get to that point, how we all inherit our portion, is based on whatever God called you to do. Okay, the thing that God called you to will be the thing that he is going to use to give you your portion of the inheritance. There is no other way around it. You know, there were times where I used to try and cut corners and go this way and go that way and try to alter the routes, either getting there quicker or trying to do it to where it didn't hurt as bad, or I didn't have to be as active in it. Or if God told me to, okay, show up here, and I would say, okay, I'm gonna do this instead. If he told me to record a podcast, I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna write a blog instead. You can't do that. Whatever God tells you to do, that is what he wants you to do, because that is how he's going to bless you in this thing. Whether what he's telling you is for your obedience, so that he knows that he can trust you and that you're gonna go when he says go, or if he is leading you to do something that doesn't even make sense to you. That is him trying to make sure that you grow the way you need to grow in order to handle what he wants to give you. Because what God is not going to do is give you more than you can bear. He will never do that. So if there's something that he's trying to place in your hands and it's too heavy for where you are in this moment, then he's going to hold it, and you don't want to miss your season. So if you reject that growth and that expansion that God is doing within you, you're going to miss your promised land. You're going to miss your blessing, and you're going to have to wait. And I'm sure you're tired of waiting right now. Some of you probably been waiting over 10 years for God to actually deliver you into the promised land. Get there, okay? Just know that if you go through this pain and all this stuff right now, something amazing is on the other side of it. Let this be the time that you decide, you know what? I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give in, and I'm not going to give out. I'm standing. I'm going all the way through. I don't care what I have to do. I know that God is with me. And if he is with me, who could be against me? I know that God is within me. I shall not fall. And I'm going to acknowledge God in everything that I do, and he is going to direct my path. And God can't be wrong. He can't be fooled. And he can't be outdone. So stick with God. Stay on your mission. Stay on your path. And remember, this level requires your uncomfortable obedience. Go through the pressing and the crushing, because he's going to withdraw that oil from you, those diamonds from you. Go through that heat so that you can be refined, and your gold is going to shine through. You are right at that wall of breakthrough. Breakthrough. Don't walk away. Don't deviate. Don't do anything other than what God is having you do right now. I believe that if you continue on in just a little while, you are going to see that thing come shining through. And you're going to be like, I'm glad I didn't give up. Don't be the person that gives up and never knows what was going to happen. Never gets to the point of experiencing that life. The children that perished in the wilderness, they never got to that promised land because they let all of these things keep them from it. Don't die in the wilderness. Keep going, keep trusting, and keep believing. I love you guys to the heavens and back. You have no idea. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And if you know somebody that needs to hear this message, by all means, send this message to them so that they can also get their confirmation and their clarity that they need to withstand and to hold on so that they don't grow weary and faint. I appreciate you guys, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Take care.